What's going on, Stim Junkies? High Stim Ace here, and I do hope your week is starting off great. I have a review here today that I have been really excited to drop for you guys, my beloved community. Today, we are going to be reviewing the Helios Limited Edition pre-workout from our good friends over at DNM Nutra. And I do know that the original Helios was around about 1.5 to 2 years ago. It came in a red tub. And from what I hear, that one was pretty crazy. I actually have that one on the way. So I'm going to be reviewing that one as well, probably at some point next week. But I did get to run this one 3 times over the last week and a half or so. Today was my 3rd time running this one. And boy, do I have a lot to say about this hitter here. Let's roll that intro and let's get to it. So looking at the tub here, it actually has a very nice aesthetic, nice holographic finish. It's got a little bit of street graffiti style kind of scattered all over the place, and I really dig it. Red, silver on top of black. It says Helios Pre-Workout Limited Edition. It claims explosiveness, raw vascularity, razor sharp focus, and long-lasting energy. Oh boy. And we're getting 30 servings of this bad boy here. You don't really see 30 servings in 2025, so definitely a great value for money, especially considering what's in this label. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but before we do, we're going to talk about this flavor. This here is the Tutti Frutti flavor, and I believe it's the only flavor that this particular pre-workout comes in. The original Helios comes in, I think, 4 different flavors, or maybe 3, but this one here only does come in the Tutti Frutti flavor. And I gotta say, it's a really darn good flavor. Actually, very tasty. And I usually get worried when I taste a high stim pre-workout that's supposed to have so much crazy stuff on label. And then I drink it down and there's no nastiness. It actually tastes pretty pleasant. So it kind of gets me a little worried sometimes because I'm used to the nasty pre-workouts hitting the hardest. But you never know. There's always exceptions in the industry. So this one here definitely tastes nice. A little bit like an artificial fruity mixture, fruity candy mix. I really dig it. It's really good. It goes down easy. Let's move to the label. So like we mentioned earlier, you are getting 30 servings in here, which is incredible value for money. Serving size is 1 scoop, no 1 scoop, half scoop, 2 scoop, none of that, guys. 1 scoop is the full serving, and it does come in at 11.7 grams per scoop. The scoop comes in a little bit heavy at about 12.5, 13 grams, so you can always take a little bit off the top, or better yet, just heap that bad boy and really get crazy. You're getting 30 servings after all, so you might want to heap it just a little bit. And actually today, I did heap it. I brought it up to 14 grams, and we're going to talk about that experience because, oh boy, that was a lot of fun. I had a good workout today, guys. We're going to begin with beta-alanine, 3,000 milligrams, so 200 milligrams less than the quote-unquote clinical dose, but 200 milligrams is not going to make or break it. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. L-citrulline, 2,000 milligrams, so a very minuscule dose of citrulline. I'm sure there's a little bit of benefits to help with the blood flow and whatnot, help with nutrition partitioning, but 2,000 milligrams, you're not really going to get a crazy pump off of this one, which is funny because it does claim raw vascularity. I don't know, guys. I don't think 2,000 milligrams is going to cut it, but you can always stack your favorite pump formula, capsules, glycerol, whatever. This is a stim bomb more than anything, and you guys know that going into these kinds of reviews. Choline bititrate, 1,000 milligrams to help with nootropic benefits. Caffeine anhydrous, 400 milligrams. I like that. I like 400 milligrams of caffeine. Perfect amount for me, the equivalent of about 4 cups of coffee if you're drinking the regular stuff. High Stim Ace drinks the dark roast day and night, but 400 milligrams is really good. I really like it. Glucuron lactone, 300 milligrams. Not really sure what that is. And phenyldimethylamine citrate, 300 milligrams. Now, I know what that is. That, in layman's terms, is a riogenesis. It's going to give you a nice floaty head high, good mood elevation. A lot of times people consider this to be the natural form of DMHA, but hold your horses, guys. Speaking of DMHA, we got 2-amino isoheptane coming in at 300 milligrams, so 1-to-1 ratio with that ariogenesis, and theoretically we should be flying. 300 milligrams of each is supposed to give you a good floaty head high, a nice dialed in buzz, a feeling of happiness and euphoria, at least on label. We have N-acetyl L-tyrosine, 250 milligrams, a very low dose. Not sure that's really going to do much. Usually you want to see at least 750 milligrams to a gram of tyrosine to really get the nootropic benefits. So I don't really know that 250 is going to do all that much. Octopamine HCl 100 milligrams, theobromine HCl 100 milligrams, some more stimulation. Huperzine A 1% yield 20 milligrams. And lastly, yohimbine HCl 3 milligrams to finish off the label with a little bit of an extra bang. Before I discuss my experience running the Helios Limited Edition pre-workout 3 times over the past week and a half, don't forget to like this video, comment below, share the channel with a fellow stim junkie or a fitness enthusiast, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Okay, boys, we got the Helios Limited Edition tub in hand. What does High Stim Ace think of this hitter here? Now, I watched a couple of reviews going back about 1.5 to 2 years, back when Helios just came out, and it was the new pre-workout on the market. They had the original version, then this limited edition came out, and it blew people's socks off. People were saying that the DMHA was super euphoric, super illicit. It had you dancing and bopping in the gym and lost in your own little world. So, did I get that experience? Yes or no? The answer falls somewhere in the middle, because this here is definitely a very, very good mood uplifting type of DMHA pre-workout, but I wouldn't compare the DMHA in here to something super crazy and illicit such as Dark Labs from like a year ago or Coca Labs. You know, that DMHA is super, super potent. The yum yums, as I like to call it here on the channel. So does this have the yum yums in it? I'm not really sure. I will tell you that every workout I had on this one, and I had 3 workouts, they were all super positive. I had a great, great uplifted mood, and I felt very positive each and every time I took it. There was no elevated heart rate. There was no crazy intensity. There was no sense of urgency. Well, not initially. We're going to talk about the sense of urgency in a second, because the yohimbine does creep up a little bit later, and that is the theme of this pre-workout, is creeping up later. This here is definitely a builder. This is something that's not going to hit you initially. As a matter of fact, I didn't really feel all that much for the first 20 to 25 minutes. Maybe a little bit of that caffeine, maybe a hint of that Araya giving me a bit of a mood elevation, a little bit of a floaty head high, but very, very minimal. It isn't until about the 25-minute mark where things kind of start coming together. And, you know, you have these pre-workouts where you take the drink and literally within 10-15 minutes, you're already in a completely different stratosphere. That is not the case here. You're going to take the drink, you're going to feel very, very little. You're going to feel something, but very much in the background. Now, it isn't until you start pumping the iron and pushing set after set after set where this thing is going to start building. And that's where you come in. You need to give a little bit of initial push to really get this one going, because if you just take the drink and you're lazy and you're just kind of goofing off in between sets, it isn't going to do much for you. But this is something you want to take. You want to have your music in, and the more you push, the more you get into your workout, the more you move your body and contract those muscles, the more you're going to get dialed in. It's a very interesting effect, and this really did happen all 3 times I ran it, and I specifically wanted to run it 3 times to see if the experience was consistent, because there was another review that popped up about 2 weeks ago from a prominent review channel, and I did watch that review, and in that review, they claimed that this one really had you super high and it was like an illicit feeling and it had you going in 8 to 10 minutes. I personally did not get that the very first time, nor did I get that the other 2 times. So I specifically ran this one a couple of times to really get a feel for this product here. At that 25-30 minute mark, it all kind of starts coming together, and it builds and builds and builds. And it's a very subtle transition. You're not going to get smacked across the face at any point running this pre-workout. It's not one of those crazy hitters where you don't feel it and then suddenly you're really locked in and focused out of the blue. This one builds very slowly, very gradually, and it's a nice, mellow experience, but also a very productive one. 3 grams of yohimbine is very solid. No alpha yield, so you're not going to get a crazy sense of urgency. No fight or flight here, but it is going to nudge you just a little bit, and it's on you to really make the initial effort to get into it. But once you do, once you're in that bubble, you're going to have such a good floaty head high, and you're really going to be locked in, and it's a beautiful thing. Now, you know that High Stim Ace likes to listen to all that dance and electronic music, but when I start listening to the weird stuff, when the K-pop starts creeping in and the nightcore and a couple of other stuff, then I know that I'm really in a unique little state of mind, and the pre-workout is doing its thing. So I was listening to some interesting tracks today, shall we say, but I was in my own little bubble, didn't run into anyone in the gym today, so I had no distractions, and I was feeling good, I was productive, I was pushing hard, and surprisingly had pretty good pumps as well. Obviously, it's not coming from the citrulline. Well, you know, it helps a little bit for sure. 2 grams isn't all that much, but you're going to be pushing so hard, and you're going to be sweating, and you're going to be in it, and you're going to be focused and dialed in and zoned in. And every single rep you do, every single set, you're going to be pushing to failure, and you're going to be seeing and noticing the muscular contractions. And it's a great product, guys. It is freaking really enjoyable. But don't go into this one expecting this to be like a super illicit 2-amino DMHA hitter. You're not going to be flying to different stratosphere on this one. But if you're looking for something chill that's going to build up slowly over 40-45 minutes, and by the end of it you're feeling good and positive, and then when you're done your workout you feel floaty for the next couple of hours, but productive, no crash, nothing like that, then this here is a very good option, and I think you will really enjoy it. Like I said, you are getting 30 servings in here, so feel free to heap it if you want. I did heap this one today at 14 grams, so really just went for the big heaped scoop, and I had a great experience. It definitely hits a little bit harder when you heap it. So again, you're getting a lot of servings, so heaping a couple of scoops here and there, not the worst thing in the world. You can definitely do it, and it's a good price, and I do have it available for you guys with a discount code. You can head over to supplocker.com. I'm going to link the website down below with the discount code. It's going to save you 10% site-wide and help support the High Stim Ace YouTube channel. This is a great product to stack pump formulas on top of. You could stack a light pump product, something that's unflavored, or you could stack a little bit of glycerol if you're trying to get swollen juicy. Today I did stack some light pump capsules on it, which I will be reviewing at some point this week, so stay tuned for that. But overall, guys, really positive experience. The shipping from Supplocker was super fast. Got the stuff literally in less than 2 days, like a day and a half. I already had the stuff here. So definitely a great vendor, and I'm looking forward to doing more business with them. Guys, if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to give it a big like, comment below, tell me if you've ever tried the original Helios, the red tub. I will be getting that one at some point this week, and we'll be reviewing it probably next week. Let me know if you've tried the limited edition, what you guys think. I want to hear from you guys down below. As always, follow me on Instagram at High Stim Ace, and subscribe right here on the YouTube channel. I will see you all next time for the next High Stim pre-workout review. Take care, everybody, and have a great week up ahead. High Stim Ace, signing off.